For those who knows me, that's okay. And those who don't know me, my name is Mustafa Kamal, and I am serving as the Vice President, Academic and Student Affairs of the Graduate Student Association. So I am volunteering my time specifically to help this graduate student to submit their tax return using a software that allows the student to submit their tax return without any fees. So again, I said I'm not representing that software, or neither I'm a representative from the Canada Revenue Agencies. So based on my expertise from the last 10 years, I have been submitting my own tax return using this software. And apart from that, I have been volunteering for the Graduate Student Association for the last 3 years, help graduate students submit their tax return. So before I start, I wanted to tell you that this session is recorded. So if you have any concern, and please send me. And again, this session, the recorded session will be made available to all graduate students, and as well as the first session, which we organized on March 18, and primarily focused on graduate student with no dependent. So both of these sessions will be made available for the graduate student. And again, during my presentation, I will occasionally check the chat box. And again, if I miss some of the question during this live session, but don't be worried. I will try to answer all of your questions at the end of my session. So please be patient. I will answer all the questions. And if you still do not get your answer, feel free to send your questions to the email. As you can see from this at the bottom is please send your email to gsa.sa@usas.ca. So I hope I will try to help you as much as possible in this session, so that I will try to show you what are the information you need to submit your tax return, and as well as for your spouse and your your kids. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I wanted to mention that what are the information you need to submit your tax return. So I provide make a list. These are the information you need to submit your tax return. Okay, so you may need some 1 or 2 additional information depending on your situation, but this is the list of information that you definitely need to submit your tax return. So first of all, as you know that tax return here, every person living in Canada, it doesn't matter whether you have income or zero income, or you have income, but you can submit your tax return. If you have no income, you may be still like you are not paying any tax return to the government, but you may be eligible to receive some tax benefit or some government subsidy money if you submit your tax return. So that is why it is important, even though you do not have any, like you or your spouse, like let's say you are a graduate student, have income, but your spouse does not have any income, but still you can submit your tax return. Your spouse may be eligible to get some tax credit from the government. So As you know that here in Canada, like specifically for the graduate student, we make two different kind of income. One is as a scholarships or bursary, and the second type is as a teaching assistant or research assistant. Or sometimes we graduate student work as a part-time jobs or a full-time jobs. So those incomes, some of the income is specifically for the scholarship money, which is non-taxable. So that means the money you receive as a scholarship, you do not need to pay any tax. But when we work as a teaching assistant or as a part-time job, our income is taxable income. So what when we receive our salary, like for the teaching assistant money, it is automatically they deduct a tax from our income. But what happened here in Canada, like I'm trying to make this presentation for a universal one, so that actually everyone can understand it. So during our income, as I said, when we receive the salary or bi-weekly or monthly, it is automatic. The tax is automatically deducted from our income. But what happens if our income, the annual income, is under a threshold values? Then we can claim, or the government will return you the tax it deducted previously. So that is why also it is important to submit tax return. So the next is that again, your tuition fees payment. So as I know that as a graduate student, we pay tuitions either as a part-time student or a full-time student. So here, as you can see that a form like a University of Saskatchewan issue a form which is called T220221. So these are the form where you will find how much money you paid as a tuition fees during the 2021. Also, I forgot to mention that in the previous line that we have when we make, as I said, one is taxable. There are two forms, which is called T4 and that is T4A. So one represent our income as a scholarship money, and the other represent as a where we pay taxable. So the taxable income and non-taxable income. That is why there are two different forms. This form information need to be put in the software we will be using to submit our tax return. And then as a graduate student, unless you are you opt out, if you're a graduate student, we pay health and dental fees. So amount is, I think, probably $222 for the health, and the dental fee $244 something, or $32. I cannot remember the exact fees, but I think we will get it later on. So these are the two information we can provide in our submitted tax return, for which we can get credit. And then I think we can claim our prescription drug payment. So as we know that as a university, if we have a health plan, the university health plan, we pay only 20% of the prescription drug, and 80% are covered by our insurance. But during our tax return, we can still claim that 20% we paid from our pocket. So that is why I think you have to have, but please make sure that you have to have the receipt. That means the payment receipt, because during any after if you submit your tax return, Canada Revenue Agency randomly check some tax return. So in that case, they can ask you, please send your prescription drug receipt that you claim in your software. Okay, so please make sure that you have do not make any claim for which you cannot show any documented evidence. Then I think we can also claim our charitable donation received. Sometimes we make contribution to different charitable organization or any political organization. Let's say sometimes you paid some charitable donation to either Liberal Party or the Conservative Party, or even in the Sask Party, the Saskatchewan. Or you make a contribution to like a Wikipedia, or you make some contribution to Canadian Red Cross, or as recently as, let's say, you make some donation to the Ukrainian cause. But if you are making any donation to any charitable organization, specifically those charitable organizations who are registered with the government of Canada, so they normally issue a tax the tax receipt at the end of the year for tax purpose. So if you have the receipt, then definitely you can claim those charitable donation under the tax submission tax form. And then I think as you University of Saskatchewan, we pay some bus fees around $112 or $15 something. So these are the under the transit fees you can claim for this credit. And definitely you need your social insurance number to submit a tax using this software. So unless you have a social insurance number, you cannot submit your tax return. And again, I say, if we have any income, any kind of income, definitely here in Canada, those incomes comes under a social insurance number. So depending on you are either international student or the domestic student, you have different social insurance number. But again, you need this social insurance number. Unfortunately, you will get the social insurance number under this T4 or T4A forms. You will get there. And lastly, you need your banking information. So let's say, as I said, once you submit the tax, either the government owe some money from you, or you will get some money from the government at the tax return. So in any way, let's say for if you are receiving some money from the government, so either you can get in two ways. If you do not provide your banking information in the submitted tax return, then government will issue a check and it will send you via email, like a mail. So sometimes it takes a lot of times, and that is why it is always better. I always recommend using banking information in the tax file, so that government can directly deposit the return you will get to your bank accounts, and it is very faster process. Okay, so these are the information you need to submit your tax return. Now, as I mentioned that, okay, you need a series of information from the university, and definitely the university issues those information. So the question is where you can go at those information here. So as you can here, I mentioned that, okay, where can I find all the information I need to complete my tax return? So it is very simple. Once you log in your POS, in the very beginning, at the first pages, you can see, we know that apps and services, this is the most this is the button where we click for regularly once you log in, either going to email or any tuition fees or anything. So click here, apps and services, and then it will show you alphabetically all the apps and services here in this year. Let's say in the first page we see the academic. Okay, so in the next okay, so in the same, if you scroll down on those lists alphabetically, you will see there is a segment which is called under pay and time reporting. And under that section, there is a subsection which is called tax information. So where you mentioned the review your T4 and T4A tax information since, okay. So that means you can get all your tax receipt all the way back to 2010. So I think from here, if you click here, tax information, it will take you to here. Okay, so this is the I'm showing you this is my information session here. So for 2021, so I work as a teaching assistant and I received some money as a scholarship money. So in that case, I said, okay, there are two different kind of, okay, you see the two T4A and two T4A because I received two different kind of taxable income from the university, okay, as a research assistant and as well as a teaching assistant. and I got some money for say a scholarship fully. So I think that is why actually like I have a 1 T4A and then 2 non-taxable income, which is scholarship, and then the fourth form is for as a tuition fees. Okay, as I mentioned, T22 there's okay where you can get that tuition information. So you can download all those PDF document, either email or PDF document from here. So these are the four slip, like it depending on the year. As I said, okay, either if you're a course-based student, you may not have all those tax receipt, but if you're thesis-based program student and if you're receiving some financial assistance from the university, you may have either both of them or one of them. Okay. So again, it depends on your situation. So you can get those T4 and T4A from this from this way. And as I just mentioned that, okay, so under T4 and T4A. So as you can see, this is my okay. In the tax form, you need to mention okay, your employer name, who is paying you. So yeah, if it is it could be a University of Saskatchewan. If you are working as a Walmart part-time, then if your employer is a Walmart or the Best Buy, it doesn't. So you will get the payer name. So this is here. I said okay. So in my case, I got her as a research assistantship from the University of Saskatchewan. Here address, okay. And as I mentioned that you need the social insurance number. You can get it from here, and then your address. Definitely, you know your address, okay. So now please very be attentive here. So this is one of the most important form from where we will we will transfer this information from this form to the our tax form like in the software. So as you can see in this software, this form in the T4A, there is a box and the number corresponding to a number. So let's say here you see in my form, these are all blank, only two information is here. So either at a box 014 and then 105. So here you can see this is my 105 is the which is called the scholarship income. So for me, let's say in 2021, I received $10,666.72. So depending on the situation, okay, this number can vary. Okay, so I need to transfer this number to the appropriate boxes, like the corresponding boxes in the tax file. So in the tax file, I will get exactly a box where with the same number 105, and and then I will under that box, I will just simply transfer this information $10,666.72 in the tax file. Okay, so it is very simple, as I mentioned. And then if we get a box or 014, and then I will just transfer this number $1,936.50. Okay, so these are the two numbers. Like for me, it is two number, but it is depending on your situation. You just need to transfer these two number as an income to the tax file. And then I think, as I mentioned, okay, in another form, which is T4A. Okay, so this T4A, it is the taxable income. So the T4A, just look at the different. T4A is a non-taxable income. So that is why actually you see there is no other number here information in other boxes. But look at here, this T4, there are a lot of multiple boxes, and corresponding to each boxes there are numbers. Okay, so here you can see. I say, okay, in under box 14, I say here you can see employment income. So how much I made? I made, okay, $2,295, okay, under this box. And employer CPP, what we know is the Canadian pension plan. So the money I made here as a tax, okay, income tax, and then I also contributed to Canadian pension plus, how much? $77.41. And then how much, as I said, okay, I work as a and then during my work I pay the employment insurance. Since I was employed, I paid some employment insurance. And how much? $36.27 I paid as an employment insurance premium. And then so yes, I pay some premium, and definitely that means I am covered. My income is covered under insurance. So they say how much? Okay, so my insurable income was this one. And then, as I said, okay, this is CPP pensionable earnings, this one. And union dues, so I also paid. Okay, this is the amount I pay as a union. Okay, union fees, because as I said, when we work as a teaching assistant, we had the University of Saskatchewan, all teaching assistants are affiliated with the local union. Okay, we have they represent us, our job. And then we paid this union fees. Okay, we can also claim this union fees in our tax return. I hope, again, I say, when in the software, in the tax software, we'll find a form which is called T4. We just need to transfer this information from here to in the tax file. So it is pretty simple. Now it comes to the tuition and fees. As I mentioned, that we pay tuition and fees, and we need this information. So where can we get this tuition and fees information from? It is again pretty simple. As I said, under the apps and services, when we click there and scroll all the way down, we'll see a tuition and fees section. Under the section, we'll see a subsection where I said, okay, then get my tax receipt. So if you click here, then it will take. So this is the form called T2202, where you can get your information about how much money you paid as a tuition fees. And at the same time, you can get how many months you will study as a full-time graduate student and how many months you study as a part-time graduate student. So here you can see here a number of months part-time and number of months full-time. For me, I study all full years and the 12 months as a full-time graduate student, and the amount of money I paid as a tuition fees is $5,297.75 as a domestic student. You may be a domestic student or you may be an international student. Depending on that, that amount can vary. Okay, and so you need to provide this tuition information at the software, which will, unless you provide this information, you cannot submit your tax return as a free of cost, because this will justify that you are a student and you paid some tuition fees on the 2021, and which will allow you to submit your tax return free of cost. Okay. Okay. So I think the other thing I mentioned that here, the tuition fees again. So I just mentioned that apart from the core tuition fees, we also pay different associated fees, like athletic fees, Canadian Federation of Student fees, graduate dental fees, health fees. So again, so these are in the tuition and fees under individual terms. You can get all the information. And since we pay our health, dental, and transit, like we pay transit fees in both fall and winter, but we normally pay our health and dental fees only in the fall. So under the fall term tuition breakdown, you can get all those information. Some here for me, like in the dental fees, I paid I think nearly all of the graduate students paid $236 as dental fees, and then $222 as a health fees. Okay. And then graduate student association fees, this is 37, and this is also considered as a union fees because we are part of the graduate student association. Okay, definitely we can claim this money amount in our tax file. Okay, so that's it. So I think up to now, so these are the, as I mentioned, those are the information you need to submit your tax return. And I hope this is very now clear to you, what are the information you need and where can you get this information. And now I will show you how you can use those information to submit your tax return using a software which is called Youfile. This software is a fee that they give a discount, like using a student discount. coupon code, I think you can submit free of cost. Okay, so now as you can see here from this year, it is the software is called Youfile, and the website of this software is youfile.ca. If you go to this website, this is the home page. Excuse me. If you have already any existing account, that's fine. And if you don't, if you're for the first time, then you can sign in. Okay. So yes, if you have an existing account, you can sign in. Or if you are new, then you will get this button. Okay, where you can click it. Okay. And once you click here, it will take you to here. And you will get two options. Okay, you already have a Youfile account, yes or no, depending on the situation. You can click yes or no. If you don't, then it will give you to create an account in this software. Creating an account is very simple. You just need to very simple. You can provide those information. And again, please make sure that okay, this is a very secure software, and it is one of the most popular software who is affiliated with the Canada Revenue Agency. So please feel free to provide all the information they ask if you are comfortable with. And then I think using this software, after that, you can submit your tax. Okay. Okay, and I think as I mentioned here, and this is the, please make sure if you are here, if you have pen and paper, you can write this code. Okay, you will need this code for coupon, promotional code, CFS Canadian Federation of Students 1981. Okay, these are the code. At the once we complete fill all those tax information in this software using this software, I think we at the end we need to provide this tax code, and if we provide this tax code, the software will allow us to submit this tax return without any cost. Otherwise, we need to pay some fees. Okay, so please, if you have pen and paper, you can write down this code, CFS 1981. Okay, now again I say so. Here, as I said, okay, once you create the account in this software, Youfile, it will, so this is the first page, it will appear on your site. Okay, once it's that. Okay, now, as I said, okay, we wanted to submit our tax for 2021. But please know that if you can submit your tax return from earlier year as well. Let's say you came to Canada in 20, I think in this like a couple of months ago, before 20 end of the 2021. Let's say you came to Canada on I think October, November, December of 2020, but you did not submitted your tax return. So you can still submit your 2020 tax return using the same software. But for the time being, I'm just showing you for 2021. So that is why actually at the first option, it will show you, okay, create a new 2021 and go. If you click this go button, okay. Okay, Tamar, please go ahead. If you raise your hand.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
So I have a question that I came in Canada like 2021, but I am as a full-time student from 2020, and like my first sem tuition fees was paid by my supervisor just because I had a supervisor funding at that time, and I didn't file any tax for 2020 in the previous year. So should I have to do that, or
yeah,
I
you can do
skip
that. You can do that. You can do that. As I said, okay, you can submit your tax return for 2020. So, but it will be a separate tax return because you cannot claim that in under the 2021. So again, a tax year is fully start from January all the way to December. So for right now we're providing information only from January 1st all the way to December 31 of 2021. But for you can using the same tab. Okay, you can click here from the drop down menu, you can create 2020 and go. This will give you another option. So let me show you. Okay, for me, let's say after this, okay, okay, I think okay, oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so now I think we are here up to this point. So this is, and now actually I'm going to the main text file. Okay, so I'm stopping this screen for the time being, and then going back to a live demonstration of the software. Okay. Mhm. As I mentioned, okay, I have the account. Okay, so now I log in again. I say in the last slide, I see that when you create for you need to create. I already created one. So in the list, as I said, I have been submitting my tax return using this software for the last 10 years, and as well as volunteering for the GSA. So here I have also the record of the previous tax years. Okay, it remains there. So for me, as I said, I already created. Once you create go, it will appear here. For me, as I mentioned that you can see here, like from the
Hi,
drop down
Mustafa.
menu.
We can't see anything. We just see you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have not shared my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Thank you. Sorry for the mistake. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So from the last present PowerPoint slide to here, this is the software I log in. Once I log in, it is the same slide I was showing you before. Okay. So from here, now I'm creating here for 2021, but from the drop-down menu, you can choose which tax year you wanted to submit. For Tanmay, you can today, you can like at the beginning, you need to submit the most recent one, and then you can go you can also submit previous year. Okay, here.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, and now as I said, okay, once you go clear here, go, and this will appear here. For me, I created it here before, so like I'm going to launch it. Okay.
Okay. Another question. Should I need the two different access code for here? Like
For what?
for 2021, we have a
No,
free access code CFS 1981.
no,
So
it is
for
all.
2020, okay,
It is
okay,
always same. It is always
okay,
same.
okay,
It is the same code you will be using for you and your wife and all everyone. Okay.
okay, okay,
But please make sure that for to uh, get this benefit, it is the student who will be the principal applicant. Okay.
okay, okay,
So that
okay,
means if you are a student, if you are a student, then you will be the principal applicant. And if
okay,
your
okay,
wife is the student, then she will be the principal applicant, and then you will be the dependent. Okay,
okay,
because
okay, okay. I get
this
it.
tax file only give you the option to submit free of cost when you will provide information about your tuition fees. That means, can
Okay,
you remember the form I just showed, T2202 form? If you provide information from that form, only then the software will recognize that you are a student, and now you are eligible to submit your tax return free of cost. Okay.
okay, okay. I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. So I think now again, so once you log in and once you create a form, and then once you launch this software, the form, so this will take you to here in this page. So at the very beginning, you see there are 5 number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here start is already you started, and now we are in the second interview questions. So it is not interview. In the interview, we ask different type of question. The same thing, the software will ask you for different type of questions. So that means this will give you opportunity to create different forms where you will provide all the information from your income, your tuition fees, your medical claim, health and dental claim, all those information under different forms here in this section. And once you completed filling all those information, you can review your information. So see whether any information is missing, or if you're like, is it okay to submit? This is a review, okay? And then you can click in the for tax return for. If you click this one, it will show you as a PDF copy, view or print your complete tax return. So again, under this tab, this will give you the option that you can keep a copy in your as your reference, so as a PDF copy. And sometimes it happens surprisingly, the software, I do not know why, some people cannot send it their tax return in online. That means in the right way, using this electronically. So in that case, what those person have to do, again I say this will give you an option. It is already that you created your tax return. What you just need, you need to save a PDF copy, print that PDF copy, and manually send your all those printed copy to a Winnipeg tax center. Okay, for us, like people living in the Western Canada, they need to submit their tax return to Winnipeg tax center, and people living in the Eastern Canada, they need to submit their tax. Like if you are joining from other provinces right now today, and like you are living in Ontario or in Toronto or in the Eastern Canada, so definitely you can you need to submit your tax return to Nova Scotia. Okay, so please make sure, depending on where you are living right now, you have to submit, like those who cannot submit their tax return electronically, only those person need to submit a printed copy to either one of these two tax center. Okay, and this is the number 5th step, which is the electronic submission. So if you click here and okay, once you completed filling your application, the tax return under tab 5, once you click it, it will ask you for that code I just mentioned, the CFS 1981. So under that code, if you put this code, and it will show you, okay, now you are ready to submit. And if you just sending once you compose an email and edit it and send button, it is like a send button, and it is done. You are done submitting your claim. Okay, so now let's come to the interview question. So how you can set your interview question, or how you can create the forms. So I'm going to now again I'm going to create all those forms. So here that come to the question, as I said, okay, the second session is also people who have a dependent, so either both your spouse and the kids. So how you can include your dependent in this tax return forms. So here is the option. So it's for me, it is my principal applicant. I am here, and if you're you wanted to add your spouse, just you want to create here. Okay, if you click here, it will create you, it will look here, your spouse. Okay, very simple. So now you're your principal applicant, and if additional form is created, okay, spouse. And if you can, if you have 2 more son, okay, 1 or 2 more kids, you can click multiple times. Okay, depending on the number of your dependent, let's say it is your parent is living with you as well, who are dependent of you. So in that case also you can create, okay, a forms for your parents. Okay, so again I say this is principal applicant, this is a spouse, and then the number of dependent you have. Every for each dependent you will create each form, single form. Okay, I hope. And now for the time being, and so if you don't want to click here again, so this is a spouse, you can click here. Okay, yes. So adding and subtract, okay, deleting, okay, it is very simple. Okay, okay, so I think for me, like, let's say I'm going to my, okay, okay, so now what I need to do here again, this is so this is now starting, I'm starting to fill my tax return here. So here, this is your very introduction. Okay, your family add information. So as a principal applicant, you need to provide your personal information. What kind of information? This is your name. Okay, your first name, your last name, your social insurance number here. Okay, nine-digit social insurance number, your date of birth. Okay, and then net file access code. Okay, Canada Revenue Agency. Okay, so this is a question. Actually, I received an email that yesterday. One student is asking me, where can I get this net file access code or Canada Revenue Agency? If this is your second year of tax return, that means you submitted your tax last year. It could be you get some help from the HR block or any that you get some help from outside here. But in any way, if you have submitted tax return earlier years, then if you have a notice of assessment after you submit the tax, and then Canadian Revenue Agency have submitted a notice of assessment of your tax return. So in the top right side, I think you will get a code, I think for 8-digit code number, which is called the access code number. So you need to provide this access code number here. This is again, it's a Canada Revenue Agency submitted 2-page notice of assessment for every tax return submitted. So you can get that notice of this access code number here. Okay. And then I think situation on December 31st and 2021, as I mentioned here. So in the Canada Revenue Agency count where you live on December 31st. Okay. So here, so let's say the province of residence on December 31st and 2021. For me, it is Saskatchewan. I mean, this okay, depending on your situation, single, common law partner, married, widow, separate, divorce. Okay, you can depending on then if you can submit it. Let's say for today, this is married. Okay, today's session is for since dependent. So you're married, and then did your marital status change again? Let's say okay, let's say you submitted a tax return last year when you were single, and then you are submitting a tax return this year again, but this year your marital status changed. So in that case, actually, let's say yes, okay, change. So last year you were single, and this year you're married. Okay, so your marital status changed, and the gender depending on okay, you will submit okay either you're male or female. Okay. So now we can go. So this is personal information page is done. And then here you just click next. So here, as I said, okay, change. So this will ask you if your marital status changed last year, then you have to provide the information when did okay change your marital which month you got married. Okay, here, okay, so you're married. And then okay, these are the information you need to provide. Okay, it is very simple. Then go next. Type of information you used to provide about your spouse. So this is important. As I said, okay, you are the principal applicant, and now you are on you will provide submit your spouse tax return as well here. So now the question is that what kind of information of your spouse you want to provide. So it is always recommended that you will provide all the information this tax file is asking. Okay, let's say if she worked last year, then you will provide all her work related information. So how much she made last year, and then how much tax she paid. Okay, employment insurance, everything. Or if she was on maternity leave, the amount of money she received from the government, government of Canada. So all those information you need here. Again, please don't be afraid putting all the information this form asks, because it is, as I said, it is the Canadian Canada Revenue Agency approved software. So these are fully secured. So I think feel free to, but again, it is up to you. If you decided not to do, then I think it is up to you. But for me, I've been submitting there for my tax return, and I say every year, and I had no issues until now. So as I said, okay, so they say for if you are married, and then you say complete information, okay, and then next. So here now the question is the mailing address. So as I said, okay, you in the first form you just provide your personal information, your marital status information, and now you will be providing your information where your address. Okay, your apartment number, it is mailing address. Very simple. I wanted to do not want to go more detail here. It is very simple. Your mailing information here. And if your mailing information is different than your residence information, then you just need to fill all those information, okay, and your phone number, work and home. So next, here it's a Canada Revenue Agency questions, information about you. So it is very simple. These are very simple questions. What language, like, as you know that Canada have two official language of correspondence and the government, English and French. So depending, so which language you prepare to be communicated with the Canada Revenue Agency, English or French, from the drop-down menu you can do it, okay. And then so here it is question asking, are you filing an income tax return with the CRA for the very first time? If it is your first time, say it yes, and if it is not, no, okay. And then here, so if you are an international student, if you're coming from outside Canada, and the question, do you own foreign property in 2021 with the total cost over 100K, okay. It depends, okay, if you're holding some info like coming from outside and your web property more than this value, declare it. Again, it is up to you. If you decide to hide it, it is up to you. I would, it depends. It is your like a decision. And if you make any like a gain from your investment in 2021, that is also you have to declare it. Again, it depends on, okay, if you intentionally want to hide it, it is up to you. You will decide what to do for this information, because these are some sensitive information. So it is your choice, okay. And then here, electronic filing information. As I said, okay, today this software allows you to submit the tax return electronically, because nowadays actually people want their lives more easy. So I'm sure like not all of us will comfortable to printing this nearly 50-page tax return file in the printing and then sending those, going to the post office and sending those 50-page document with some money. So it is all like a, I think people will feel comfortable, but again, some unfortunate people who will not be able to submit the tax return electronically, and so those people need to print this completed tax file and then submit it manually. So here, as I said, okay, will you be using that file to submit your federal return electronically? Definitely yes. Okay, CRA prior returns. As Tanma, you can see here that you mentioned that you did not submitted your tax for 2020. So here it says, will you be using that file? That means exactly this software to submit your prior year federal return today or within the next 2 days. So let's say you just submit your 2021 right now, and then after that you're planning to submit 2020. So are you planning to submit it today or in the within next 2 days? If the question, depending on if you say okay, wanted to submit in within next 2 days, it will say yes, otherwise no. Okay.
Okay, got it.
It is
I have one little bit, one more question actually. So you said I joined the earliest session of yours actually. So you said that we can claim our plane ticket also in that tax return. So
yes.
my plane ticket was issued on actually I purchased the plane ticket on 27th of December of 2020 and I came at 24th of January 2021. So should I claim the tax for the 2020 for the flight
No, I
cost?
think in the since you move in Canada on 2021, you can claim that plane ticket on 2021.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in the next is the CRA Autofill my return. Okay. So here what happened that since when we receive our income as T4A, T4, excuse me, T41, T4A and T4, the government Canada Revenue Agency already have some information because we get paid corresponding to our social insurance number. So Canada Revenue Agency have some already information about us. So sometimes what happens this software, or if we have paid some tax return last year, the Canada, this software can access our information, our income information from the last year. So here it's we are giving a permission CRA autofill my return. Okay, so you can like we're going to use autofill my return. In that giving a yes tick mark will allow this software to automatically retrieve some of the information we provided during our tax return last year. Okay, so otherwise, if you do not provide this, in that case, actually, you have to open your tax file, like a document last year, and then manually find all those information and put corresponding information here. So again, I'm sure not all of you will be comfortable to getting the looking at that last year tax return and file manually all those information. So therefore, I always prefer to give a tick mark, so it will automatically retrieve all those information from here. And next, again, so download my information. As I just mentioned, I'm giving this software permission to retrieve some of my information automatically from the Canada Revenue Agency here. That's it. Okay, so this is just simply tips. Okay, forget about that. Now it is a CRA Express notice of assessment. The question is here, after we submit, fill your tax return, I'm sure that the Canada Revenue Agency will evaluate our return, and then it will either approve or accept as it is, or it can further ask for some question, like the document, everything. So here now the question is how you want to be communicated. So yes, I said electronically or sending a by post email, like they say this Canada Revenue Agency asking you to provide your prescription drug information. So sending all those prescription to here. The question is that do you want this to be sent by at least for the initial requirement that sending that, okay, Mr. X, we need this information. So either they can, the Canada Revenue Agency can send an email, which will be faster. Otherwise, they can send a via email, sorry, by post. As we know that sometimes we student change our address from one academic year or in the next. So it is, I always recommend that email giving that, okay, an electronic communication as a first choice would be the best one. So here, as I said, okay, use the express notice of assessment in this file. Yes, use this one. Okay. Okay, so this is the most important part. As I mentioned in the first session, information session, we need to provide our income information on our expenditure information to this tax file so that government can calculate the credit, okay, depending on our income. So here we will create exactly those forms where I showed you at the beginning, where we will just transfer the information from our form to here in the software, okay, corresponding form in the software. So here there are different sections. You can see a specific situation, employment, other benefit, pension, investment income, rental income, self-employment, student, common tax deduction, parent and child benefit, installment. So all the forms is here. Okay, this is the form section. So here now we will open, let's say for me, I have nothing to here to compare here in this section, but in the same employment income section, as I showed you that I have in 2021, I had income of taxable income and non-taxable income. So I created here two forms, which is T4, which is taxable income, and T4A. So and then in this T4 taxable income, in this I also pay some union fees. So here union professional dues, okay, and then I created here pension fee here again and non-taxable income here, okay. So here pension income or other income. So these are the two forms. One is T4 and that is T41. So in these two section, I can create those forms. And then let's say if you have a rental property, that means you get some income from by renting your places here. In that case, you can create a form here. For me, there is nothing, and I have no income, so I do not create any form here. And then investment, let's say you have some stocks, you buy some stock, Tesla stocks, or let's say you make some investment in Bitcoin. I don't know like whether Bitcoin is approved or not, but let's say you make some Tesla, okay, and make some really 100K last year. So definitely, you know that in Canada you have to claim like report those incomes here. So here you will create, but for me, I am a very poor graduate student. I have no income apart from my scholarship and then TA income. So I have not created any from here. Okay. So here self-employment, because as you know that some student make some, let's say you work as a part-time for the script dishes or the Uber. Okay, so those are considered as a self-employment, or you may work as a freelancer. So you make some self-employment. So in that case, you created here the self-employment forms, and then you provide all the information. Okay, here. And now as a student, as I mentioned, I showed you T2202 forms. We paid some tuition. So you created a form here where we will report all those tuition information. And common tax deduction here. Now these are the section where we will create some forms to claim our health and dental fees, and as well as the prescription drug. And then another form for the charitable donation or the political donation. As you see here, federal political contribution. So you will create some forms where we'll report all those information. And then those are some those are the some people make some investment on the pension plan for their future apart from the CPP contribution. So in that case, okay, you can create the forms here, and then here you can report all those information. And parent children, as I said, okay, today's session is with the spouse and the dependent. If you have kids, and then definitely you can report it here. If your kids goes to daycare center, how much money you paid as a daycare fees, or any other fees, or let's say if you receive any childcare benefit from the government, universal childcare benefit. In that case, actually you need to report that how much money you have received last year as a childcare benefit. So you create all those forms here. Okay. Okay. And then other topics here. Okay. Oh, as I said, is it you who claim discuss the moving expenses?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it is not only that you come from outside Canada, but also let's say you used to live in Alberta or in Ontario or in Toronto, and you just now for your school you move from Toronto to Saskatoon, or from Edmonton to here Saskatoon. And so the rules is that if you are moving if you're moving from one place to close to your school, which is more than 100 kilometers, then definitely you can claim this moving expenses. So under this moving expenses, like you create forms, you will in the form you will get an option that which place you used to live and now where you are moving. Okay. So from and to. So in this moving expenses form here you can claim it, and then again say other deduction credit. Okay, school supply on all those things. And here here I mentioned that okay, I want this software to retrieve some of the prior year information automatically. That is why actually I create it here, make a tick mark, so it will retrieve all my prior year information. So I think again I mentioned this is the most important section where we are just creating the forms, and after this section we will just only need to provide the information from our forms to transfer the information. Okay. So do you have any question until now? Oh, I think there are a lot of questions. Okay, let's take a little pause. This will be, give me some time. Property means cash or asset on cash. I think there are two kind of properties. As you see that there is an option which tells that okay, that if you're outside Canada, then definitely you say if your property is 100 over 100K, and in Canada, if you have a rental property, I think where you are making some money here, or any investment. So these are the, I think, different options that either it could be an investment. You're where from your you're making some money from your investment, either is the investment money or rental property. These are the things. So that means your income. If you are making some income from your money, that you need to report. I think I'm coming. Aman, I will show you okay where you will need to put the tax file code. Okay, it is at the end. And I think once we come to the number 5, only then you need to put this. It is the last step. Immediately before just sending the button, like clicking the button send, you just need to, only then you need to provide this CFS code. How to get a net file? How do I get a net file number? I do not get your point. What is net file number? Net file is just, again, I say it is a free software. You can create your account and then start filling your tax return. So I think there is no number needed for the net file. The only thing you need, it is a student discount code, which I showed you before during my presentation slide at the beginning, which is called CFS, capital letter, and 1981. These are the code you need to fill once we submit, just immediately before submitting our tax return in under button 5. I think it is that, again. I think that's kind of the answer, Josh. You for your question. I think the Canada Revenue Agency have all the information. So that means how much they paid you and how much at the end you get your credit. So don't be worried. You can. I think for the Canada Revenue Agency, you just need to report the number you received. Okay. How do to one, I think I'll show you. Okay, as I said, okay, in this form we created a form which is called, I think, medical and dental fees. Here under these forms, medical expenses, disabilities, and caregiver, under this section I will show you. Okay, we how to claim it. Okay, just wait for that part to come. Oh, come on, where is the, okay. I have one net file access code, Canada Revenue. Okay, as I think I discussed this one, net file access code. If you have submitted your tax return earlier year, then in the notice of assessment you have received from Canada Revenue Agency, on that form you will get the access code. If this is your first year of tax submission, then it is just simply a warning. It is not an error. So just please skip it. Okay, skip the warning. Proper. September 21. Should I file a tax? Yes. As I said, okay. If you are in Canada on December 31st on 2021, you need to submit your tax return. Okay, even if it is for one, you will stay here in Canada for 1 day or 2 days, you can still submit your tax return. Spouse and student both have a create a separate username password. No, as I say, you do not need to create a separate account for your spouse and a student. It is the student who will create the account, and under the student account, you will submit your spouse tax return. So just only one person need to create the net file account in Youfile, and then all other Dependent information can go under the same thing as I show in the tab. So principal applicant, here you can see from my name, and then in the add spouse, you can create as many as forms depending on the number of dependent. Claim hand and dental fees. Yes, I already, Sushant, I already mentioned. So no, you cannot claim your health and dental fees from 2020 in the form of 2021. If you have an unclaimed 2021, any unclaimed from 2020, then you need to submit your 2020 tax return. So you cannot claim any information from unless only except that the person who mentioned that he purchased the air ticket on 2020, but he flew to Canada on January 2020, 2021. So because it should go on under 2021 tax filing. You do not need to receive. I showed you under the tuition fees. If you go in the universities, your tuition and fees on the fall on fall term. In the fall term breakdown in the item, specifically in the detailed breakdown of the fall term tuition fees, you will get how much you paid under health and how much you paid under dental. I think I already showed you. Probably you miss it. On those, it clearly shows how much we paid health, and I think dental plan 232 and the health are 222. But the recording will be posted. I think I am planning to send the recording via email. So okay, so at the end, actually, I will ask you to provide your email address, okay, and I will copy, and then I think I will send to all of you who are attending this today's session. Okay, so now let's move on again to this continue on this how to file this using the software. Okay, so here again I mentioned, so after the you make a tick mark. And then in the next section, when you click it, let's say you see the T4 and employment income. So in this section, you have given option to create your form to report all the income information you have on your T4 tax receipt. So here, what you need to do here, let's say T4 and T4, you say here in the top line, you say T4 income. And in any province except Quebec. Okay, so here in the plus sign, if you click it, it will give you, it created a T4. Okay, T4 tax file. Exactly. Look, as you can remember during my presentation about the information here, in this is this you just need to transfer all the information from your T4 form you have to in this software. So I told you that an employer issued the T4 for my case, it is the University of Saskatchewan. So for me, I need to write here as an employer name, University of Saskatchewan. Let's say, okay, and if it for you it is another institution, then please write down name of your employment. And then I showed you there are all the boxes with different numbers. Okay, and for me, as you said, okay, I showed you, okay, there are different numbers and you just need to transfer all the number values corresponding to each boxes. Let's say in your T4 boxes here, I showed you, I think employee insurance, like employees employment insurance premium. For me, I think it is I think I paid $32 around something like that. So you just need to transfer that information. And CPP contribution, I think I provided around $77 something. And then employment income I made, I think I make around $2,200. So those are the things I think you just need to correspond. Again, you do not need to remember. You just in one hand, take your T4 or in one window, just open it in the computer, the tax form, you just need to transfer information. Okay, it is just copy and paste. So if you see in your under T4 tax return, there is a box called 14 and there is a number 100. You just need to transfer this 100 number from there to here. Okay, this is how. Just follow all the number and put the number here, values corresponding to that number. That's it. Okay, so this is again all the information you will receive, you need to transfer it here. Next, union fees, as you can see, like if you can remember, like approximately, I think union fees I paid $40 in my form T4A. So you just create it here. Here, okay. Oh, sorry. This is a fees you mentioned here. If there is no information in the T4 tax return that you paid some, for me it was $40, but if in your case it is not, like for say like we pay a University of Saskatchewan graduate student fee $36. That information is not reported in our T4 tax return. So for similar kind of cases, in that case actually we can say here, write down the name, that annual union fee, this is graduate student association fees, and then here, and then this is the number we paid it here. Okay, that $36, you can report it here. And GST HST rebate, do you wish to claim GST rebate? Definitely yes, just simply say yes. So you need to claim. If we are paying some taxes, then we can claim that, give me back all those taxes because I am under, like my income is under threshold value. And now here, pension and retirement income. Okay, it says if you earn income reported on your T4A slip or receive other pension or retirement income, select the appropriate item below. Okay, for me, as I mentioned, I had T4A. Now I am creating a form which is called T4A. Okay, you can see here. Now under the T4A, if you can remember, I have only two. One is called 105, and I think another is around, I think, 14. So I will look for the number of boxes here. Again, this T4A is issued by University of Saskatchewan. This is the employer name. And then this is, please make sure, okay, please be attentive here. Sometimes people find it difficult to find the box 105. It is here, okay? Under here, you will see, under this is here, there are drop down boxes here. You see here, there are multiple 105 boxes here. Look, this is 105, 105, 105, 105, 105 here. So choose the one it is applicable to you. For me, I received, my income was a scholarship income. So I will choose this one. For you, let's say you get a part-time for a scholarship or postdoctoral fellowship or elementary secondary school scholarship. So you get some, this is also depending on which kind of a scholarship you receive, select from the drop-down menu, okay, here, and this the number I say I receive around, I think, $10,666. So for me, I'll put that number here, okay. And I think actually we're having there is no number 14 boxes here. You do not need to do, okay, this one, it is not mandatory, okay. It is not mandatory here. It's probably because those that box is not here, so you just don't need to put it here. And then next, I think so. Now we have, as I said, we have two different kind of income, either as a taxable income or non-taxable income. So we provided all the information related to those two tax return. So now by the time we are done with our income information, now we will provide other all information we have spent, like expenditure information here. So for me, it is, there is no grant or training allowance. Let's say you came to study under a grant, okay, or training from your company is send you to get an advanced degree, let's say in MBA program, and your tuition money is coming from that company. So in that case, actually, the company is providing you the money under that as a grant or allowance. So you can create a form and claim it here, okay. Training and information from other keys for sleep. Canada worker benefit advance payment statement. So this is, I don't know whether it is applicable. For me, it is not applicable. Okay. Now this is, I think every student has this section. Okay, we will need to fill information from this section. So this is medical expense, disability deduction. Okay, let's say this is medical expense. Okay. So I am creating a form where I can claim medical expense. So again, it is always the same positive plus sign. Okay, more pages. Okay, I think I already have this one because I created this. So let's say here medical expenses. Okay, so medical is this is section, and because I created it before. Again, let's say I delete it, and now start from beginning. So here you click it. Now I created form, which is called medical expenses here. So here what you mentioned, do not enter here amount which you already entered in this form. Okay, box 84 of T4 sleep. So only information it is go here which you have not claimed before. For me here, look at it here. Now how you will fill this information? Please make sure that look at the syntax. Okay, the date, month, and the year, and the description of your drug prescription or here. For me, I start with the first thing. Let's say we pay our health fees on fall term. So I would prefer, okay, this is 01, so September 09 2021. Okay, comma. So this is I provided. Okay, and then health. Okay, health plan. Okay, health plan. Okay, and then comma. This is okay. User. Okay, sorry. USAFT users. Okay, health plan. How much I paid? I think around $222. This is health, and then I created another one. Again, the same thing. 01 09 202 sorry 21 comma new. Okay, schedule plan. Okay, and then this is 232 something like that. Okay, now again I create another form. 1 2, let's say I have 3 prescription drug and 3 different now all the prescription drug. Again, please make sure that you are not claiming all the entire money in your prescription, because you are already insurance already covered 80%. You can claim only 20% that you paid from your pocket. Okay, so for me, let's say again I bought some, let's say September 10. Okay, 10 September 9 2021. I bought, let's say a blood pressure. Okay, I bought a blood pressure meter and which cost $100. You can claim it here. Okay, because I have this blood pressure meter at cover. Okay, and let's say you bought some medicine for your diabetes. Okay, so you can claim again the same thing. For those things, okay, under you bought some blood pressure meter with the recommendation from your doctor, so which have a RX number. Okay, and please make sure, let's say one if RX number. Okay, you need to provide the RX number. This is prescription number. The same thing is true. Let's say, as I mentioned, that in another day you bought some medicine for your diabetes. Okay, or insulin. Okay, if you bought some insulin here, and please, okay, put the date when you bought it, and name and the RX number. And please know that, okay, in Canada, if you bought any prescription drug from any pharmacy, you can go back to that pharmacy and you can ask them, okay, please give me my tax form, can you give me my information for it in the tax receipt? So they will print that how much money you spent for your prescription drug from a pharmacy last year. They will issue a tax receipt. Okay, So this is not okay, even though you miss it, but you can just go back to the pharmacy from where you bought the medicine, and they will give you a tax receipt. And then again, this is medicine, and the same thing. Let's say expense for medical services not available in your area. Let's say you move you bought some, you went to Alberta, and then here because from some diagnosis it is not available in Saskatchewan, you go there. So it is the same thing. So the under this form you can claim any kind of medical expenses here. The same thing for physiotherapy, chiropractor, or all those things. Yeah. That's it from medical. Now it comes a donation on political contribution. As I mentioned that you probably have contributed some to Wikipedia, or some Canadian Red Cross, or some, let's say, Ukrainian cause, or some again to a local political party you are affiliated with. So you can make same thing. Creating form is the same everywhere. Everything. Let's say an amount of donation. Let's say you contributed to $20 to Canadian Red Cross last year, and then the name Canadian Red Cross, and then expenditure of the donation. It is gift or money, gift in money and gift in kind. Okay, is same thing. The same thing that you provide, you donate to Canadian Liberal Party or Conservative Party, $20, and then here. Okay, so you can claim all those charitable donation here. And then this is such okay. Other kind of, if you have any home buyers plan or lifelong learning plan. So these are the information. This is very simple. I don't have anything this one. Or I say venture capital contribution, select appropriate law. You can select if it is applicable to you, any one of the form. And this is here your RRSSP or PP deduction limit statement. This information is coming from my previous tax year, so it is automatically retrieved in this software because I gave permission earlier. So they receive this information from there. Okay, if this is your first time tax submission, then please do not be worried about that. It will be empty. Tuition, education, textbook, and interest student loan. Okay, let's say you in the first 8 months. Okay, so you start your study on September 2021, and after your undergraduate, when you make some government loan, and in the first eight months of the 2021, you paid some interest on your loan. So definitely in that case, actually you can complete here interest paid on your student loan. You can create here forms. Okay, then you can say, okay, I paid. Okay, you can claim all those things, how much you paid, how much money you paid as interest on the first 8 months, and then again you come back for your master's PhD, and then again in this year. Okay, this is it for interest paid on student loan. Childcare deduction, again, it says, okay, you can create your forms, and then in this forms, it is the say, okay, how many months your student went to childcare, and how many months you study like a part-time or full-time if you're a full-time student, and how many months your student like child went to daycare. So these are the information you think you need to pay here. Okay, this is just go read it, those information, and feel which is appropriate for you, your case. But this is the childcare information here. Okay, and this is the moving expense form. I already explained some of them here. You can create the form here, moving expenses here. Now we can see here address of the former residence. As I said, you used to live in Toronto. So address of the Toronto here, and now you move to Saskatoon. So this you moved in here. Okay. And now here information about employment business after the move. Okay, here you study here, and details of the move. Let's say date you change your residence on day. This is a very simple thing. And now the how you move it here, transportation, like the mode of transportation. Either you purchase the ticket, your bus ticket, or it is airfare. So this is the mode of transportation used in this move here, air travel, number of household member you moved in. So these are from pretty like your moving expenses. Just fill the form which is applicable to you. And here this is important. other deduction. Okay, so here in this section, actually I prefer to claim some of those things. That means like until now we have not had any opportunity to claim all those transportation fee, bus pass. So here you can click here deduction fees. Okay, discussion of the fees. Okay, salary was do not related to anything. Okay, and discussion of the fees. Let's say I say you pass. Okay, you pass. How much I paid? $115. Okay, I calculate it here, and then I can claim other deductible income. Let's say I say okay, Canadian Federation of I paid some $6.60. I think Canadian Federation of student here. I can claim this one, and then I say wellness center fee. I pay some wellness center fee around $30-40. You can claim here those things. Okay, these are others. Okay, there is nothing. We did not get any forms where we can submit all those information. Okay, and prior information used for installment. Okay, if you say prior information, federal income tax and contribution payable insurance. Okay, from the 2020, if you have those, how much you make last year, if you have any information, then you can provide here. Net income. Okay, and these are automatically retrieved this information from my previous tax year. So for your case, forget about it if it is the first year of tax return. And Saskatchewan tax credit, this is important. Okay, if you make any political contribution to Saskatchewan, then definitely you can claim it for the credit. Okay, you can create a forms and then you can claim here. And Saskatchewan mineral exploration, those are the things. Okay, and refund balance owing. Now that's I mentioned. Okay, either government will get some money from you, or you will get some return from the government. So the question is how. And if you're receiving some money from the government, then how you want to get it? For me, I would prefer to have this money directly deposited to my bank account. So here, okay, now I click here, amount balance owing being enclosed here. Okay, amount including the tax return. This one, if I government pay, if let's say after submitting filling the tax return, I find that okay, I need to pay the government. So this is how you wanted to pay. Okay, this is amount. I want to pay the government. And then direct deposit information, I mentioned that you can provide your banking information, specify your direct deposit request, start change. Okay, yeah, start or change direct deposit. Okay, start, and then this is your banking information, 5-digit branch number, 3-digit banking bank name. Like let's say this is your branch is a University of Saskatchewan branch. This is of the bank, or if you're using let's say CIBC 80th Street branch, so there is a branch number, and then the CIBC banking have a I think probably 010. It depends on different bank has a different institution number, and then I think your account number. These are the three information you need to provide. Okay, and then this is important at this section where you can optimize your tax return. So sometimes you do not know how you will get maximum benefit, but the software knows that how you can. The software will try to optimize your benefit. Okay, so the software will automatically try to give you the maximum return. So that is why actually there are some options. Either you can directly say I will claim it. Let's say some benefit is say you want to claim it, or you can give okay your spouse can claim it, or optimize tax for family. So that the software will automatically determine like how it will the maximum return is possible. Like it probably if it is you, then the software will automatically assign to you, or if it is your wife, then software will automatically assign to your wife. Okay, and this is most important thing here. Please don't forget to submit this section, because I think in Saskatchewan on average a single married person, like a family of one person, at least a married person will get on average $600 to $700 climate action incentives, or what we call the carbon tax credit. So, or if you're married and have a child, you will receive around $800 or $900 back from the government. Even if you do not make a single dollar your zero income last year, still you will get that $800 from the government. This is one of the beauty of submitting your tax return. Okay, if you are a low income graduate student. So here, definitely claim it. Okay, you claim it. And again, I say this is depending on your situation. Either you can claim it, your spouse can claim it, but as a married person, only one person can claim it. Okay, so it is up to you who, if you want to claim it, then claim it, or you can say, okay, your spouse will get. Okay, and if you say, okay, no, I do not want to, I'm pretty much rich enough, I don't want to claim, they say I don't claim. So in that case, government will not give you money, will not give this money to any one of you. Transfer of taxable dividend. Okay, transfer. Okay, if available or optimal. So sometimes one spouse makes more money than other, and sometimes, like in that case, actually, like one spouse pay more tax than the other. But sometimes you can share the loading. Like if you say, okay, if you transfer or separate some of the credit that you need to pay, but at the same time, your wife can claim from the government. So in that case, actually, there is the option. So it says the transfer spouse allowable optimal. Okay, credit. Okay, taxable dividend. Okay. Okay, and here definitely. So you want to do, let's say, after paying this tax, do you wanted to see right away how much money, yeah, you will get as a Canadian childcare benefit? If you have a kids, then it's a yes. So after submitting your completing this form, it will show you approximately how much money you will receive every month as a childcare benefit. Okay, and then the same thing for yes, GST and HST. Do you wish to have the estimated GST tax credit? Yes. Do you want the report on tax savings reconciliation between a spouse? It will show the value of tax savings that might be reimbursed to other spouse. Just simply here, or if you do not know what to do, just these are not mandatory information. Okay, there is no, so you can just check, leave it as it is. Okay, depending on the situation, this answer this question. Free for student special offer. Okay, now this is the part. So as I mentioned, this is the part where you will be put all the CFS 1981. This is the 7-digit code. Okay, this is where you need to put those student discount code. Free for student special offer. Okay, that's it. We are done. We have completed some filling our software. This for this is the principal applicant, and now they said, okay, it is zero. Now after you complete your essay, you will get this are the message here. There's some useful information. Warning for me 0 and error 2 because I did not provide information in my form. So this is as long as there is an error, you cannot submit your tax return. You have to be see a 0 error message. You can have a warning, still you can submit your tax, but if you have a error, it show here, you cannot submit this form electronically. So make sure that like every time you click it, and it will take you where the error is, and then try to correct those errors. Let's go. Okay, next. And this is again, if you are not getting any information, just you can search it here. This is not anything. Okay, so yeah, we are done. Let's say, okay, you will start from here, introduction, our information, personal information, all the way to here. We are done. And here, and then I think since we are complete filling on information, you can review your application by clicking here. Let's say review it. Since we have not, like for me, I have not completed my application form, it is not showing. Otherwise, if when you complete this information, then it will show you that, okay, there is a form, a PDF form. You can click it and you can see this information, the PDF form. Okay, if it is here. Then same thing again, so you can click it here, tax return. this will give you the option. Okay, either you can see it as a HTML file or the PDF, and sorry, PDF, and you can save it. In the bottom, you will show you that the PDF document. Download it. You can click it. You can keep a copy of this tax return as a reference. Okay, even though you submit it electronically. That's it. So you have completed your own application forms. Now let's go back again in interview question. So you are done now. Now you want to submit. You need to file your tax return for your spouse. As I mentioned before, click it here, add your spouse. And then again, start from the beginning. It is exactly the same form. Okay. So you now you will replicate just your same information, like the same way you provided your information. For you, let's say if your spouse was just an housewife, she does not have any income. In that case, you will find that okay, in the T4A, you do not need to create a form on T4 or T4A. You just see, you file only the first pages here, personal information about your wife, and here, and then same thing. I'm sure that even though she doesn't have income, she may have some medical claim. Like we people always have some, at least a couple of dollars per year. So like let's say you just got married in last year, so provide the information about your wife. Same thing, you can all those things, how you want to be communicated. Again, it is exactly the same thing. On the form section, you will, okay, this is very simple, step by step, all the same application. Okay, and then here for that, for your wife, let's say she does not have any T4 or T4A, so in that case actually you do not, you just uncheck. Okay, you do not hear anything. Only let's say your wife joined, okay, here, oh sorry, moving expense only student can claim, not a spouse. But the medical expense, a spouse can claim also. So you can claim the medical expense your wife has spent. Okay. The same thing is true. Like let's say you, now this is you and this is your spouse, and now another one, if you have a kids. Okay. For each kids, you want to provide information about your kids. Okay. So in the medical section, let's say if your kid is underage, under 18, so I think you will fill the information, but it will be giving you who want to claim the medical information, like medical credit from the dependent, like kids. So in that case, either it is you or your wife can, like you will give an option, the submit to my spouse or the principal applicant, the head of the family or the spouse. Okay, so the information here you can provide here. Okay, as I said, okay, that these dependent have any income in 2021, you say yes or no. Does this taxpayer require a tax return? Let's make decide. If you are not sure, just say let's make decide. Okay, so I think now we are done. We're completely done. It is very simple. You just need to add all the information, but for the submission part, you need to submit individually. That means you will submit your form, and then you need to submit your spouse, and then you need to submit your kids. So it is separately. So that means 3 different submission. And sometimes what happened that surprisingly, like you may be able to submit your form electronically, but the software may not allow you to submit your wife's tax return electronically. So in that case, what you need to do, as I mentioned, just save the printed PDF copy, print it, and send to the Winnipeg Tax Center if you're living in the Western Province, to the Winnipeg Tax Center. You can Google it for the address, like the Winnipeg Tax Center, or where to submit my tax return. Okay, so definitely in the Canada Revenue Agency website, you will see that which office you need to submit your tax return. Okay, so as we are done, I have done showing the demo. Now I think I can start again answering your question. Okay, your spouse is not resident in Canada. I think you do not need to. If he's not, he or she is not living in Canada, you do not need to submit the tax return.
Well, just to interrupt for that question,
Mhm.
at the beginning, when we are filling this form, it asks us to declare whether you are married or not. So
Yes.
when you say you are married,
Mhm.
then the form automatically says you need to fill spouse details. Though
Oh
if
yeah,
he,
yeah,
though if
yeah.
he or she is living here or not. But
Oh,
if
I
you
think
say you are, yeah, but if you say that, yeah, I mean to say it automatically asks your spouse details. So what to do in
oh
that?
yeah. So I think again, I think in the let's say in the spouse details, definitely you see, you will be providing information where she lives, like her residence information you need to provide. So if she is not living with you, then definitely you have to provide your like her current address, like if she is living outside Canada.
Okay, thank you.
If you remarried and your spouse not Canada, do we still need to pay everything with zero values? Yeah. Yes, I think sometimes if she's a dependent, you can claim it, but I think they will not give you any credit because she is not living here. It is people who are living in Canada, and then the government will give you some credit for that.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, can you please show the part that where we can like put the CFS code, CFS 1981?
Oh, okay. It is, I think, don't be worried. You know, actually, when you just keep filling the form, it will automatically ask you that at some point where it is at the nearly at the end. Okay.
Okay.
You just start from the very beginning, and it will automatically show you where you need to provide this information.
Okay.
I think it is around the control section. No, it is around, I think, in the last year. Yeah, this is the last section here. It is a special offer. Like, look here, you see the control and the special offer, and this is the special offer is here. Okay, it is at the end.
Okay, I got it.
It is the very last part. If you have spent some money for medical expense and the insurance gives you per tag, how we should claim it? Again, I say if you have insurance claim, when you claim it, and definitely the insurance document will say you that you claim $100 and you are reimbursed 80% covered. So that means they will refund you a $80 check, and then $20 you from that document. That means you pay $20 from your pocket. So that means you have the document, so you can claim it in your tax return. And again, Canada, not all Canada Revenue Agency does not ask for proof for every tax. That means for every person. Let's say in the last 10 years, I was asked only 2 years. So the remaining 8 years, wherever I go, like what I claim, it was unchallenged. But in 2 different years, they asked me, can you provide all the medical prescription you claim? So that is why actually you have to be ready that if Canada Revenue Agency asks for any information, you provided in tax return, you have to be ready. Okay. So otherwise, if they ask you for you make some claim, and then the Canada Revenue Agency, unluckily, you were one of the person whose tax return is challenged, and the Canada Revenue Agency is asking, requested you, okay, provide those send us those information, and if you fail to submit those information, in that case, actually, they will remove those part of the claim from your tax return, and then they will recalculate your tax return, and then will either they will, if government will get money from you, then they will ask you, okay, send this amount of money to the Canadian government, or if you will get some money, then they will send you a check. Do you have any uploaded receipt on the electronic tax filing? Do you have to upload receipt with the electronic tax filing? No, you do not need to upload any kind of receipt with your tax file. Again, so only this is everything is it is independently. You will submit this through your true belief, or again, as I mentioned, that you can claim everything, but you have to be ready that you have all those proofs. The Canada Revenue Agency can ask for proof. And so for the prescription drug, it is the RX number. So this is a number that Canada Government Revenue Agency can again is a proof it, because it is they have the option to check with the pharmacist. And so again, I mentioned they randomly, this is a completely, they randomly pick some tax return to cross check. And that is why I mentioned that in the last 10 years, I was asked only 2 years to submit all the proof I have submitted during my tax return. And the other 8 years, no, it is. So again, it is, let's say, now there are 23% here. Out of this 3, only 1 person was asked to submit. Like we all 23% submitted our tax return following this instruction, and then only 1 person, maybe the CRA can ask those 1 person, okay, submit all the proofs you have claimed. Where we should claim graduate student association fees. It is the other. I think the only one that exactly here other. Hold on. Other deduction and credit. You see here. This is the other like Shohelia. You asked where we should claim Canadian graduate student association fees. Here again other deduction here. We already have one form here. We all created this form. So here we can you can write the name. Okay, I say you pass. Yeah, the second one, this is Canadian. Okay, Canadian Federation of Students. Let's say it is $6.60. Okay, and then our wellness center fee. Okay, you search. Okay, wellness center fees, let's say sometimes $30. Okay, these are everything. Again, all other claim which is we have not claimed before, this under this sum. Okay, you can claim it. Okay, I do not see any question unanswered. If you have any question, again, feel free to ask me. Okay, and please write down your email address. I'll send this recording to all of you. And if you are not comfortable asking any question in this thread, feel free to send your tag question to my.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm asking like for couples. So who claims, let's say the couples do their donation together? So who claims the amount for donation? Like
it is up to you. Can decide. Let's say like in a charity, like as I said, okay, if you make some donation, I'm sure the charitable organization issue a tax receipt. So it is depending on whose name the charitable donation, charitable institution have issued their tax receipt. So it is that based
like
on that.
When it is like both couples' name are on the receipt.
You can claim only one of them. So it is up to you.
Okay.
Okay. And again, I think sometimes this again, when we give the control to this software that lets Max decide for optimization, even though let's say you claim that a political contribution donation, but for the deductible part, the software will automatically decide who should it give the credit, so that actually you need to pay the lowest amount of tax, and then at the same time you will get the maximum amount of tax return.
So how about graduate retention credits? You did not mention how to claim that.
Graduate retention credit, actually I think we do not get immediately that graduate retention credit. Okay, so whatever we pay the tuition fees, it normally accumulate, okay, over time, and normally those credit we get after we graduate, and when we start working, the government give do not like give it deductible tax credit up to that portion of our income.
Okay.
And that is why actually we put the information on the from T2202. Those information accumulate over time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And if you are living in, let's say in Ontario, I think Ontario gives some energy credit. So I think it is again depending on the province you select where you live, it will automatically for the Ontario, like if you choose that you are living in Ontario, and then as a resident, it will automatically give you option how much where you live and how much rent you paid, and then depending on your rental payment, you will receive a tax credit on energy tax credit.
Hey, Mustafa, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Can I claim for medication that was covered by an insurance? Sorry?
Insurance?
Yeah, I mean, can I still claim for a medication or drugs that already covered by an insurance?
Let's say again, if all the 100% is covered by insurance, no, you cannot claim it. It is the part which is not an insured, which is not covered by the insurance. And yeah, so like for us, for our prescription drug, 80% is covered by the, I think by our health plan, and 20% we pay. So that only that 20% we can claim.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Okay. I think it is by default. It like a climate action is a fixed amount. I think if you at the end when you review, I think in the part it will show you how much the climate action fee you will get it. But make sure that you say you claim it. Okay. Amar, I'm sorry, I do not know actually, like whether can we claim work from home expenses here.
Hello.
I think, but you can claim it. I think as other deductible, but I do not know whether you will receive. But other deduction, you can claim it under here. As I said, okay, those are not there. Is you cannot claim other form. You can claim it here and in the other deduction, and then give a description of that. Okay, this is the working from home expenses here. It is up, but please make sure that you should be able to submit the proof. It does not show. I will select the claim. No, I think for the tips, as long as you have no for the tips, let's say if you work in the store and then in the tips, it is reported on your tax file, income. In that case, actually you need it. But if it is not in your T4 or T41, But again, if you see that, if you want to claim that as a self income, it is up to you. Surely, I think just make sure that you start like you fill all the information from the very beginning. I'm sure. I think you will get the like the climate incentives. But because this is a incentive, everyone get it. Probably you are missing some information in any part, and that is why it is not showing you. Okay, so please make sure. Okay, yeah. When eligible for the subsidy by default, the estimated pay to be generated in the file of family head. Again, I say, who again make sure that okay, you claim okay, you are the family head. Okay, like if you are submitting your like both you and your spouses, make sure who is claiming as a family head. This climate incentives will go to the family head. It is either one of you. Okay. So I think we are done for today's session as well. I want to thank you all for joining me today, and feel free to send me your questions if you are not comfortable asking today. And you know where you can submit it. It is the GSA Graduate Student Association .sa Student Affairs .usas.ca. Okay. And you know that okay, you have to the due date of submitting your tax return is April 30, so you can submit your tax return, but you can submit your tax return at any time of the year, as long as okay, if it is you who will receive from the government money from government, then there will be no problem, there will be no penalties. But if it is government who will get some money from you, in that case, actually, if you are late in submitting your tax, you at the end you may need to pay some interest on your the outstanding tax credit. So feel free to submit your tax, okay, or try, as not feel free, okay, try to submit your tax by before April 30, and you have still more than 1 month and 1 week. Okay, with that, I am stopping the recording.